If you're a 90s kid like me, the movie The Jungle Book holds a special place in your heart. I knew all the words of every song, had a favorite character, and acted out the scenes using my imagination while in the backyard of my suburban Nebraska neighborhood. But for my next guest, the dangers of the jungle were not make-believe. She's a Colombian-born British woman who at age 4 was abandoned in the jungle after a kidnapping gone wrong. Today, she's going to share how she survived the jungle for 5 years with a family of monkeys, how getting out of the jungle nearly killed her, and what life is like now. Grateful and joyful, lover of two worlds, real-life Mowgli, Marina Chapman. Thank you so much for talking with me today, Marina. I'm excited.
You're welcome.
I'm
You're welcome.
excited to hear your story and for people to share because it's so amazing and your life is so amazing and people should know about it.
Yeah, I am surprised. I never thought it was interested. It's a kind of thing compared to other people. I never thought about mine was interested.
Well, can we start with
Yeah.
when you got kidnapped? How did you get kidnapped?
I remember I was playing with some plants, some pea pods. I did wander around the garden, and these pods attract me, and I just went and started to open them, and I just fascinated when you open it, and all these pea pods jump out, and they were so nice. Yes, I just completely, distracted with that. No, I never felt anything going on.
You didn't feel in danger.
Oh,
You felt safe.
mm, yeah, I did. And I just felt very happy about this, playing with this. And then suddenly, I didn't expect that somebody to cover my face. And the smell was horrendously, very strong. And I felt very weak. Um, I didn't have not much strength. I tried to run away. I tried to fight, and I just didn't have the strength. I was very weak. The smell was really strong.
What did you think
I
was
had no
happening?
idea what. I had no idea. We just suddenly, I heard of the children, and and I was trying to escape. I was trying to get out, and I was just it was very strong hands on me, and I just didn't have the strength. Um, I heard in the back some children crying or something. I just didn't have the capacity to look at it. I
Oh.
was just looking after myself, how to escape, how to get, how
And so when
to get.
they took you to the jungle, and then what happened?
I just remember I was being carried, and I just felt it was that after a while I felt some plants, and it was getting darker, and well, just mostly plants, and I just felt very sleepy. Very, I just can't be bothered. I tried to see if I could do something to shout. I couldn't shout. I just felt like there was no way I could get away. Till I tried to open my eyes to see what was happening until when they dropped me. I was just trying to look where I just no idea where I was because I never been to this place. I must have been asleep for a while.
And,
Um,
and when you woke up, was it daytime or nighttime?
no, it was dark. I think it was daytime when they took me away because I remember, and then it was dark when we got to some place where it was really noisy and dark and full of plants. And I couldn't find the way to see what was it, but I saw the two men with shorts running away. And I was just hoping they come back for me after all. I just felt abandoned, and I just, I'm hoping that somebody come for me.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find a way. I was really confused, very disorientated.
When did
I
you
don't
see
know
the
where to go.
monkeys?
Oof, it wasn't straight away. I heard a lot of noise, and I'm not sure a few hours, but I did sleep, and I woke up, and it was brighter, and I just couldn't be bothered about just looking for anything. It was getting clear. And I just suddenly heard a squeak. A branch was shaking, really a branch, and it brought my attention. And I was just hoping that, something was coming. And then it was a screech, a really sharp screech. And it was just the monkey just jumped down. It came down, one monkey. And then another one came follow the one. He was just trying to just keep staring at me. And he came to me, and he just poking his fingers into my ears, and he was just very curious. And I didn't do anything about it. I couldn't be bothered taking any notice. I was very upset. And then before long, I was trying to count, and I lost the count. I don't know how many. So we're in a group, and they were staring, but one of them was keep checking on me, my ears and my nose, and they're just trying to, just curious. And I didn't bother. So they went.
So they left.
And they came, yeah, they left, they went, and I felt a little bit happy to see something like that. I just felt a little bit more secure that there was something there. And then hours and hours, then just only one came. And then there was another small one. And occasionally they just came closer to me. I don't think they accept me straight away. They keep coming and stirring, and it just touching my head, my something they touching, keeping my nose.
How did you know that when they accepted you?
Screech, and then it went back. So just turned around.
Oh, they would touch you and then screech and run away?
Yeah. And run away. They just felt a little bit, should they stop a little bit longer, but they didn't. They just keep doing that, coming back and going. And maybe there was a curiosity that, they're trying to find. I don't know if they were checking me, but they didn't do anything for me. I'm just very upset. I'm just crying. They just curiosity about it. And days and days, they keep coming. One, two, not many, but they will occasionally. They used to come in a group, and they used to. I've just felt one of them, just a small one, came and started something to pull my dress. I think it was some loose material, so they started to pull my dress, and they're just trying to take things off. And then he went. And eventually they did keep coming, and one day they did, the dress became like a rag. They became in a bit of pieces, bit by bit, so I had no dress at all. And I didn't feel cold because it's a warm, very hot place. Mm-hmm. It was warm day and night, and very humid. How
did you know when the monkeys accepted you?
I was just feeling a little bit worried because one day there was something happening in the land. They all went, and it was like a fight, a really loud fight. And I just didn't not sure what was it. I wasn't interested. I was just hoping that somebody come for me. Until one of them came down, and then it had blood in a hand and a mouth. I became quite frightened. I don't know if they ate something or they killed something. And they just came and to hold just hold my legs. And then he didn't attack me. I just thought I could be, or they were going to do something to me. Just because I saw a bit of blood in his mouth, and he was a little bit anxious, but he didn't do anything to me. And they did that for some time. One at a time, or two used to come, or three, not too many, until the little one gradually started to climb over my shoulders. That was the best thing for me because I was feeling isolated, a little bit lonely. But it's just the fact that he did that to me. That was a great thing, the best thing for me. I didn't feel lonely. I was really good. It's company.
And what did you
Comfort.
eat?
That was a question. Nothing. I couldn't think what to eat or what to eat. I had no idea how to live there. There was some water. There was a water pond, and there were falling water from somewhere, water coming from. And I was really attracted to the water. And I used to fill some leaves to draw, just to play with the water. And I used to drink water. But I was feeling hungry until I saw there was a group of people, and I'm sure they were Indians, and they isolated in the hood. I heard it because they were sleeping and they making like a snoring noise, and in the distance. But I just didn't want to see anything. I just heard that, and then suddenly one of the monkeys went into their room, the big one, and they came out with a lot of fruit, with some bananas and fruit. But that was a day after or something, some days. And there was so much fruit that it keeps dropping in the floor. I grabbed a banana. I went for it, and I cut it quickly. And as soon as I was going to put it in my mouth, one of them came to take it away. So I decided to eat it. And then he took the skin off, but he wanted to take it off of my hands. But that's all he did. He didn't attack me. And actually, happened very often that every time the sound came, some sound, there was food time. I became familiar, but it took me a while to recognize different sounds. But the food was an easy one. And eventually, I heard different sounds, different squeaks and crunch. And the danger one, that was the one I had to, because when there was a danger, there was something coming in the land. So they all have to go away. And I just didn't know where to go. So I just keep hiding. I decided to bring some branches and cover myself gradually in the tree. There was a hollow tree. And I went in there, and I just didn't want to come out because there was a lot of noise in the land. And I was scary about it. I just didn't want to come out.
Tell me about the monkey that you called Grandpa.
About the monkey what?
Tell me about tell me about the monkey you called Grandpa.
That was something I didn't took much notice. He wasn't very active. He was all the time in a corner. He didn't climb very much. He was quite, stable. And he was staring all the time. And I think sometimes maybe the monkeys did take notice, well, his grumpiness or something. So they didn't come to him. I don't sure he was like keeping them in order or something, because they used to respond to his sounds. So they used to move away. And I I never thought about taking much notice. I never went closer to him, but he used to keep staring at me.
And in your book, you
And
talk about
and
a
I
moment where you believe that he saved your life.
sorry.
The grandpa monkey,
What?
he saved your life.
Yeah, I believe so. I didn't understood. I thought he was going to kill me, but I just because he was trying to be so rude with me. Um, I just look into his face, into his eyes. I realized that he wasn't trying to kill me. He just staring at me, and I understood that he wasn't trying to kill me. He just say, just um, just I don't know. I just keep away from him because he was staring at me, and like I say, he just pushed me backwards, and I look at his face. I understood that he was trying to help me, and I didn't understood. He just asked me. He wanted me to drink this water, too much water, and it was not very nice. Sometimes it was too much mood between the mood with the water and the mood.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
Tell,
I was terrified.
I believe it. When did
Yes, I was.
when did you first see a human in the jungle?
Well, it was sometime I realized there was another group of people and children in there, and oh, somebody. It's a neighbor.
It's okay.
Okay, thank you. I don't know what he's saying. Okay, he's gone. Okay, whatever.
Okay.
Oh, yes, what I was
Oh,
talking about.
yeah. When did you see a human?
In a distance, I saw a lady, and I just felt so emotional because I thought she looks like me, with hands and legs, and I just felt I wonder if she wants me. I wanted to be wanted by somebody, something. So I just look at her in the distance, and then I decided to follow her. And she kept on walking and walking, and I just continuously follow her without she seeing me. And I was just feeling a little bit hopefully that if get closer to her, she will accept me or something. And also I follow her. I don't think she wants me. I think she was trying to ignore me a little bit. But I understood that sign, like she was keep away, and you know, or felt something like she want me to keep away. I thought she was going to. I'm just hoping that she might take me with her, and I continue follow her because I was hoping that that would be nice to get some protection. And then she went under some bushes, and she asked me to keep away with the hands. And then I stopped outside the bush, and I heard something, some loud noise, like she was in pain, really in pain. And I felt, going inside. So anyway, I just heard the screams, and I just didn't want to go in because I became quite frightened. So I decided to sit and wait outside. And then it was a long time before she came out. And then she had a baby wrapped in a little blanket. And she she didn't want to see me. I just decided to stay back.
Hmm.
And then she went by. I was surprised when she went with this baby. And then I thought she found it in a bush. So I went inside and it was blood inside. So I didn't like it. I didn't want to go any further. So I decided to leave it. But I was quite confused.
I bet.
She came out with the baby.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So when did you see the hunters, the men that took you?
Oh yeah,
Tell
that
me.
was my fault. I was well hidden for a long time because the tree had some branches outside, so it was full of nobody could see me, but I could see a lot outside. Until one day, I used to see a lot of hunters, some hunters coming and taking animals and make them really loud noise, and it was very distressful. So I decided not to go to them because everything they put was inside of the sack, and they're all gone inside. And I felt they're going to do that to me. If I get close up, I decided to hide and not to come out because it was a lot of violence in this situation. I became quite frightened. So I decided to keep on hiding and not to come out. And I didn't like when they used to take animals. I couldn't do nothing about it. And I just spent the rest of my life just with the monkeys because I felt they were beginning to feel closer to me. So one came or two came. And then one day I just trying to climb the tree and I keep falling down many times and I keep on going different directions and I managed to climb up higher and higher because these trees had some little things, so something like a grass or some plant or something in every little thing. So I put my foot and I found if I hold the branch and I climb up and then got a really better base, really, really tall to the top until I found two monkeys. So I decided to stay there. Then I decided to stay sleeping there. I just didn't want to come down. And then what happened when I went to sleep, I must have fallen when I fall, when I fell asleep. And I really hit myself really hard and I just banged my head. But I was fine. I just went back to the hollow tree and felt a bit not very nice for that moment. But I drank a lot of water. It was a little water pond, and I just filled some leaves with it. I don't know, trying to pick the water. And I just decided to fill the leaves with water and drink water, and I felt better after a few days. But
And
it was very
when
painful.
when did the men capture you?
Um, I think it were quite some time. I don't know how long, but a lot of things happening in there. I used to see some soldiers with rifles or something. He was behind my tree and I was hiding behind. I decided not to come out. He had black wellies or some black boots and he was on the back. He wasn't facing at the tree. So I was behind and I was really nervous because just with the gun. I think we used to hear the guns. We didn't like the sound of the gun because we were shooting animals or something. So I decided not to come out for that reason. And I got very nervous. I kept it very quiet. And then eventually he went. So, I was quite safe after hidden in this place. Until one day, there was very often there was a couple came. There was a man with a very strong, a sort of a little bit of a tattoo or something. I'm not sure if he had tattoos, but he was really no shirt on and he had, I don't know, not much clothes. But she was looked like she was a nice young girl. I don't know how old she was. Maybe, I don't know, maybe 30 or something. I look at her. She's quite nice. I felt that she's friendly and she looks friendly. She didn't see me. I was watching her and I go quite excited about it. I'm going to go to her. And, you never know, she might take me somewhere. And then I walked towards her gradually, slowly, and bit by bit. And I was concerned about how I'm going to, when I get to her, what I'm going to do. So I decided to hold her hands, and she was reluctant because I think I wasn't very clean. I was maybe I was filthy. So she moved backwards, and then she kept staring, and then I keep going to hold her, trying to hold her hands. And when I hold her hands, eventually she looked at the man and she talked some language I couldn't understand. I think I forgot my language. I couldn't remember what language she spoke or anything. So she just asked the man something, or she said something to the man. So he grabbed me and he put me into a truck, and there were monkeys and other animals into the truck, in the box. And he asked me not to stand up, but to sit in, and he pushed me really angry, and I was feeling like I didn't want to leave that jungle. I wanted to escape, to go back. I was hoping to escape, but he pulled the truck, he locked everything. So I'm just thinking about the way to get out, and just regret leaving leaving. I'm just going with them. I didn't want to go with them because he was a bit ruthless, very, like, he was not to trust. I just regret it.
Yeah. And then
leaving the jungle.
he sold you to a brothel, and what work did you do at the brothel?
Cleaning. I think there were a lot to clean because I had my impression. Some men used to come and drink beer and was all over the floor, or some kind of men who used to come and they just take a girl out or something like that. But they used to sit down and drink around and make a mess. I guess that's why they asked me to clean the floor. And I didn't know how to pick a brush. I had no idea how to do things like a human, doing windows or picking the brush. I just had difficulty, anything to do with that, or going to the toilet or anything.
And you escaped.
And then
correct?
this woman had a whip, and then I just saw some breads or something in the plate or something. So I went to steal them like the monkeys used to do, stealing things and run out. So I did exactly the same. And then I got bitten by this whip. She used to carry a whip around the waist. And it was quite painful. And I just decided to drop the bread buns. And I began to feel the fear of this person was quite aggressive. Because I didn't do. It must have been difficult for her. Perhaps I was utterly useless. I couldn't do nothing. I have no idea how to talk, how to pick a cup or anything, but I knew how to grab the food and then eat it quickly. So kind of thing.
And you escaped and lived on the streets for a while, and then a mafia family took you, correct?
I did wander house to house in the streets. I did knock at the doors, and I'm hoping that somebody will let me in. And one 30-year-old, perhaps she was, she called her mother, and they decided to let me in. But I've been in the street for some time, and with other children, so I knew how to steal food and how to run quickly. But I was very good because I used to steal the food and I used to manage to climb the tree so quickly that the police never look at me on the top of the tree. They don't look up the top of the trees. They just walk around. They never think anybody there. And that was a great thing. I never was caught, but I used to steal food in the surrounds, the city. to, when I was feeling hungry. I was fascinated by food in the city with humans. And the problem is I just don't know how to eat it. And I got into trouble for not eating the food properly. I
Yeah.
got beaten by it because I couldn't hold it properly. But I used to eat it in the mouth. Okay.
And then
Oh,
tell me about, was her name Maruja, the woman who helped you?
yes. I love Maruja. I just learned things. She had so much pension with me because she was trying to make me wear clothes. That was really difficult for me when I came out of the jungle. I wasn't used to wear clothes and shoes, and it took me a long time. I didn't fancy wearing anything on. And eventually she came along, and her ways gradually encouraged me to wear the shoes. She taught me how to walk because she said I was walking like an ape or something, and I didn't. Well, I don't do it, but my friend, she was right. She taught me how to sit down. She was holding how to hold things, how to go to the toilet. It was a challenge, but I already learned into the brothel house a little bit. I learned a lot. I knew how I just copy people the way they used to eat the food and how to eat things or anything. I was learning from them. And ruthless woman, she was teaching me how to clean the floor, how to do things very difficult, but I learned a little. I learned by force and by brutality.
Yeah.
Um,
And
but
Maruja, she
Maruja,
sent
I
you to
just,
England, correct? Maruja sent you to England, and
yes,
then you
she
met your
did.
husband.
Yes. She, she was her daughter. She had 5 children to feed, 5 children in her house. I cannot believe it. She was so pensioned. She told me not to climb over the top of the roof because I had bad manners. I just couldn't control myself. She had trying to keep me down and like trying to teach me how to eat. She taught me a lot of things. Her daughter, you know, and her husband. And these people, all I learned is l- just to love things, to respect and love other people and be obedient about the laws and things. And I look at them, they were nice people, didn't beat me. They just give me food, and I just never forget them. It was the best thing in that moment for me to trust somebody that I didn't trust. That was the only people I trust. This old woman and her daughter and her husband who adopted me. They give me the name that I didn't have them. They took me to the medical people to investigate how old I was and why I couldn't sleep. And I keep saying about animals. I keep seeing animals in my dreams. So she became worried. And she took me to a doctor in Bogota called Salto Tekendama or Hotel Tekendama, something like that. There were two medical people who checked my body and they told me how old I was. I was in the 12th year, age 12. And that's how I remember.
Wow.
So I'm supposed to be 73 instead of 71.
Well, you can say whatever age you want. You look fabulous and you're happy
Well, thank you.
and you have an incredible family. And I'm so grateful that
But
you shared your story here. I'm going to tell everyone how to buy your book. And I look forward to, keeping in touch and hearing more about, future projects that you might be working on.
it's all right. I can help. I can help. Sometime I had a phone call from somebody to say that some years ago they found a child in the jungle, a little girl or something. So I said to them, very careful because she could be very vicious, very. We are like that. We can become very vicious, very difficult. So I just said to her, it will be very touchy. So you just have to not touching her or anything because that could be very brutal. That's what kept me alive, really. I used to get, and bus stops, I used to get attacked of people, and nobody succeed because I was very wild, very aggressive.
Yeah.
I am not like that now. I
No.
have changed a lot.
No, I can't
People
imagine.
correct me. Correction is the best.
Yeah.
If you wasn't for correction, I wouldn't be better today.
Yeah. Well,
A
thank
normal
you
person. Well, I try
again.
to be normal.
No, you're wonderful. Be you. Be yourself. Fue un placer. Muchísimas gracias.
No, de nada.
Hey, you're still here. Thanks for watching. If you love breaking free from the algorithm to explore curiosity, join me each week by hitting subscribe and the bell for new upload notifications.